Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Just a quick disclaimer before the video starts. Um, my dogs are very loud in making this recording, so please do not pay mind to them and enjoy the video. Let's get right into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a war scenario about the if the Germans decided to do it again. Um, this video, I've decided to start doing mapping videos sometimes because I like mapping. I am interested in mapping. I like doing mapping videos and war scenario videos. I like stuff like that. Because um, I'm very interested in geography and stuff. So, if you enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe so I can just because I mean if you like it, if you subscribe, you get to see if there's another video out. So you do what you want to do. But anyways, let's get started. So Germany is gonna try to do German things again. As you can see, it's a very different time. Um, Europe's it's basically modern day, but if Germany decided to do World War Three, yeah, World War Three, um, Germany in this scenario would be very interesting. As Germany really, because in this scenario, NATO would be here, because NATO, and Germany is literally surrounded by all NATO members except Austria and Switzerland. Um, and I think Luxembourg. But yeah, NATO is literally surrounding them on all sides. So in this scenario, there would be two ways this would go. Either Germany does a um either NATO's active or NATO's not active. In this scenario, to make it more interesting, NATO will not be existing. Just it'll be gone. NATO never existed, okay? Um As a result, Germany would have an easy time with all its surrounding countries. So let's see. So, Germany. The first course of action for Germany would probably be uniting the German peoples, which would be Switzerland and Austria, and maybe Czechia. Um, so they would first go for Austria. Um, this would be a total sweep, as Germany is one of the biggest industrial powers. Um, However, for many years before this, they would have been bulking up their military because it's Germany. Um, Germany would practically cut off an entire panhandle right here and take it over, and they would start lightly pushing into the Austria. Um, they continue their push. Eventually, they would capitulate. Germany would obviously annex the entire country. Um, the next course of action for Germany would be declaring war on Slovakia. Well, so both of them. Yeah, they declare war on both of Czechia and Slovakia. Um, this goes even better than Austria, as they didn't have the massive a lot of like they didn't have to go through the mountains, the Alps and stuff. So they quickly start pushing into the country, quickly surrounding the capital of Czechia, which would cause them to collapse. And same exact thing would also happen with Slovenia. But this time, total annexation wouldn't happen, as Poland, being Poland, would take the lower half, while Hungary also takes this little bit of land right there, as they also collapse. So this scenario so far is going very good for the Germans. But by this point, NATO would have been active and just destroyed Germany. But NATO doesn't exist, remember? So their next course of action would be trying to get access to the Mediterranean to gain trade in this area. So by doing that would be easy. So Germany would grab an alliance with Hungary, because Hungary kind of like they're chilling. Um, Hungary and Germany would both declare war on the Slovenia. Yes, Slovenia. So they declare war on them. This isn't even a. They just die. Like literally instantly. They don't stand a chance in this war. They literally don't stand a single chance in this war. It's like literally they don't stand a single chance. So Hungary would like get a little bit of land out of this, but Germany would take the most of it, the majority. Um, they would go after Croatia next. Um, Croatia would be even easier, as you know, it's Croatia. Hungary would declare war on the upper half. The lower half would go to Germany. Um, seeing the rapid expansion of the Germans, a front of, well, no, that wouldn't happen yet. Okay. Um, Germany would start absolute havoc in the Balkans. Romania would join the pact, and so would Bulgaria, seeing expansionist opportunities in this area. Serbia would get jumped by literally everybody. I mean everybody. They just get completely jumped by every country in the Balkans. As you can see, yeah, they're getting jumped. Because everybody hates Serbia, and you know, there's a lot of disputed lands over here. So, Hungary would push down quite quickly into Serbia. It's basic. It's just a destruction of Serbia. Serbia never stood a chance. They never stood a chance. Like they never will. They never have. Like if all the Balkan countries decided to like, oh yeah, let's gang up on Serbia, they'd fall like nearly instantly. It's not a question. Um, but a majority of the land would go to um the bigger countries in this area as they would do more work in the attempts to neutralize the country. This would be Bulgaria, Romania, and Hungary. So Bulgaria would bulk up right about there, and then the rest would go to Romania. As this is what the Balkans looks like now. It looks even more ugly, but it's whatever. We don't care. Um, but now the access, um, it looks a lot worse than in real life, a lot better than in what happened in World War II. But at this point, they would have gone after Poland, but you know, the United Kingdom and France wouldn't let that happen. United Kingdom and France, seeing what they are doing in this area, would start to make a alliance against them, which would include the following countries: Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Italy, France, then United Kingdom, and maybe Denmark, but that's too late. Denmark. Oh God. Yeah, it's too late. Denmark's gone. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, they're gone. In this scenario, Greenland will just be like annexed by the United States because you know it's the United States. What are you gonna do? Germany would then do exactly what they did in World War II. They would not declare war on Norway yet because that's dumb. They'd start declaring war on the Balkan state countries because you know land opportunities are land opportunities. What are you gonna do? Um, they push into Bosnia and Herzegovina pretty easily. They basically just yeah. They don't really stand much of a chance. They continue slithering down, taking over Montenegro, Albania, and yeah. If anything, they're doing it a favor. It's a mess. So basically, this is what the borders look like. I know they look like garbage. Let me fix them up a little bit. But anyway, this is what the Germans look like. These are the two alliances. Now the Germans, and then there's the Germans, and then there's the Axis, and then the anti-German expansion League. Yeah, expansion. Yeah, but yeah, the Germans would continue their conquest. Um, Now the countries would, things would happen. Romania would annex Moldova because who's gonna stop them? I mean, like, let's be realistic here. Um, Germany decides to declare war on Norway now, since they got everything they wanted from the Balkans. They have a massive slinky all the way down to the Mediterranean. Um, so the Germans would start their push very slowly as the Norwegians saw this coming. So they've been preparing for quite a long time now. Eventually, their navy would be absolutely swamped by the Germans. Um, it would take a very long time for this war to happen. But just to speed up the video a bit, I'm gonna like just yeah. The Germans in real life would be very tired out at this point, as their military IRL right now is kind of garbage, as they decided they have agreed to not do anything stupid and like bulk up their military again. But in this scenario, their military is hella buffed. Um, they would finally go after Switzerland. Um, this would piss off the expansion league, the anti-German expansion league, because people, Ger- Switzerland was a neutral nation, so they're like, one more invasion, we're getting involved. It's finally time. It's finally time, Poland. Germany declares war on Poland, bringing these guys into the war. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be fun. Um, Germans rapidly cross the border. As they've been planning for this invasion for literal months. They push in very rapidly, starting completely wiping out Poland in like literally months. However, there would be literal minor involvement with the Hungarians would um, provide minor help in the war. As you know, it's the Hungarians. What are you gonna do? Which causes them to be annexed. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Um, but yeah, massive front line. The Germans would try to do exactly what they did in World War One and Two. They try to just blitzkrieg through here. The French learned their lesson after the second time. They massive fortifications over here, like massive fortifications. It is basically a stalemate on this front line for like decade, not decades, but years. Um, it would stop the Germans' advance. The British Navy would kind of yeah but we don't talk about that. A very interesting thing I would do in this scenario would be a declaration of against Ukraine. Russia would obviously join in on this war against Ukraine because it's Ukraine. They want Ukraine. Belarus also joins the war because it's how it is. Um, the Russian forces would start pushing into Ukraine relatively fast. They'd take the southern parts. They'd continue pushing in. With German help, it would be absolutely they don't stand a chance. The Germans push in from the south, the north. Their allies also push in, and yeah, this is horrible. It's oh god. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Oof. Yeah, that's kind of bad. The Germans Germans in this scenario would probably get just absolutely destroyed. They focus all their troops on this eastern front. It's western. That's western. That's western. Yeah. Stuff would start happening with Russia. We don't talk about them, okay? We don't talk about them. Russia would start doing Russian things and starting to take over the Baltics, and I think you know what's gonna happen. The Germans would continue their massive push into eventually they'd break through the front line, taking over both the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. They'd continue into France. But uh-oh, the leader of Germany decides, hee 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 ha, let's declare war on the Russians. They're cooked. Yeah, Russian forces just absolutely just like Finland joins the war, I guess, cause yeah, but the Russians would just oof, 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 oof. The Germans would hold off the Russians. They'd push back the Russians for a while. Um, they'd make massive progress on the Russians, but eventually they just stop. Like, 'cause yeah. Oh no, Big Daddy US is coming in. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. United States starts to liberate the Benelux. They do that relatively quickly. French troops flood into the country. Um, they start pushing in rapidly. The Italians start doing Italian things and take over all this area. Um, Greece joins the war on the side of the anti-German League because they don't like Bulgaria very much. Turkey decides to stay out of this war because they don't want to get fucked up by the entirety of the United this. Let's just this, but um, not very smart choices there, Germany, huh? Oh, oh no. Oh God. Oh, oh, oh God. Oh no. That's so. There goes Finland. Oh God. Oh, oh God. Ooh, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Poland. Poland's doing its thing. Oh, oh no. Oh, oh God. Oh, oh, oh God. Germany, you're not looking in the best position here, huh? Oh, oh no. Ooh, ouch. Oof. They surrenders. They'd surrender. They'd also surrender. All of Germany's allies would surrender. I wonder why. Um. Oh. Oh no. What happened, Germany? Where'd all your allies go? Oh. Oh. Oh no. Ooh. Oh. 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 Oh no. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. But anyway, um, yeah. The end of the war would just end in Germany getting absolutely destroyed by both sides. Um, let me draw up a peace agreement and I'll get back. Well, okay then. In this war scenario, so yeah, Germany doesn't look too hot. Germany keeps Berlin because United States said yeah, the state said they keep Berlin, no no exceptions. Um, as you can see, the main thing is Germany gets carved up into about 1 million pieces. Um, um, Russia also gets their claims over Ukraine. They did that because otherwise they wouldn't agree to let Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania um, exist, and so Ukraine and Moldova formed a union. The Balkans are literally unchanged, other than a union between both Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, because they're really economically unstable right now. An economic union between the entirety of the Balkans is very unlikely, so that's why I didn't do it. The Russians also got their claim connected their I forgot the name of it. God damn it. It's Leningrad, I think. Fucking yeah, Leningrad. And they connected it to their claims. They also annexed the Belarus. Um, but other than that, the map is unchanged. Italy doesn't gain anything. They're forced to spit out all their things that they gained in the war. They they do. Nah, never mind. They don't get anything. But yeah, that's this war scenario. I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Peace out, and bye.